Welcome back to another episode of the K-Dog and Fish Show. I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
It's our first ever movie review. We're going to dive deep into Top Gun Maverick, give you our honest opinions, and rate it on our spicy meatball scale from 1 to 5. Hey, K-Dog.
Yep.
I feel the need.
The need for speed?
Let's go! So it is our first ever movie review show. So I'm excited. We went to go see Top Gun Maverick. We should say at the beginning of this, we are going to mention some spoilers. So if you have not seen it yet, it has been in theaters at time of recording for 26 days.
Yeah.
So you've had your chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, then I would shut it off here and go watch one of our other videos.
Yeah. We're going to ruin the movie for you.
We're going to ruin it. We're going to mention some spoilers.
Completely.
So that is your warning.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning. Now, we went to go see this the other day. We're super excited because we remember the original film.
Yeah, of course.
1986 Top Gun. This is now taking place 30 plus years later. We're going to give you guys our honest opinions, and then we're going to talk about some of the more in-depth like spoilers as well. And then we'll give you our spicy meatball rating scale of 1 to 5. K-Dog, what were your honest initial impressions of Top Gun Maverick?
I didn't enjoy the theater we were seeing it in.
Okay, besides that's not a reflection of the movie.
The overall film?
Yeah, that was because the theater had put it into the theater 6, which is the
I did
little
not
cramped space.
enjoy the seats. Yeah. I'm now become spoiled.
You need the
with the reclining and the
recliner.
rocking and the leg room.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I needed the leg room as well.
Yeah, that was business class and we were in coach.
Now gotcha.
Yeah.
Now the actual movie itself.
Oh, okay, back to the movie.
Taking the theater seats out of it.
I mean, I heard so much from everyone. I was worried that it was going to be too built up.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like everyone built it up to such
Hype.
a level, you know?
Hype.
But honestly, it lived up to it. I thought it was great.
Initial reaction was for me, being a huge nostalgia person.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the reasons why I love Cobra Kai so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're capitalizing a lot right now, Hollywood is, on nostalgia.
Right.
And this to me was nostalgia overload. There's so many references to the first film.
Yeah.
Just one that caught me right away was, and I actually nudged you in the theater, it was when Hangman plays a song on the jukebox and he pushes 8-6 to get the song.
Right.
I'm like, that's the year the first movie came out. That was a little slight nod.
Easter egg.
Also the not beach volleyball, but the beach sports scene.
Yeah.
Obviously an homage to the beach volleyball scene from the first film.
Yeah, they didn't play. They didn't. It needed.
It was shirtless people in the sand playing sports.
It needed Kenny Loggins playing with the boys.
Now,
you know? Like you needed that.
To mention that as well, paying homage to the first film, the opening credits to Top Gun Maverick is Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone.
Right.
With this, like, the planes taking off the carrier, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That to me is like, it just sets you in the right mood for the movie.
Yeah.
And my initial honest impression was, besides the nostalgia overload, was what K-Dog said. Start to finish, I wasn't bored. It wasn't a lull.
No.
The ratings are off the charts. Like if you look at the audience rating and the tomato meter rating and all that, are like 97, 98%, like crazy. And it did live up to the hype. So if you haven't seen the film yet and you're okay with us talking about spoilers and you're watching this video, highly recommend it. Initial impressions were that this is good. Like I really enjoyed it. The dogfighting scenes, the training scenes, like everything was so, and to quote one of our favorite movies, it was really real. We're actually, what movie am I referencing?
Dead Man on Campus.
Dead Man on Campus.
Yeah.
It was insane, and that was because Tom Cruise insisted that there be no or to very little CGI.
Yeah.
That this was going to be actors in the jets or actual jets flying, not CGI.
Yeah. Well, they went through 3 months of like boot camp.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. So the realism was crazy.
Yeah.
And then, just for me, we'll go into everything. But the fact that we heard 3 weeks basically of people talking and blowing up Top Gun, and it lived up to every amount of the hype. Which is usually it doesn't. Usually it doesn't. Usually everybody talks it and you go see it and you're like, yeah, it's okay, but it wasn't as great as everyone said it was.
Yeah.
This one was start to finish. So
absolutely great first impressions. Now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the movie. Again, this is a spoiler warning. So this takes place 30 years after the first Top Gun film. Maverick has not moved up in the ranks like his fellow pilots from the first film, including Val Kilmer, who makes an amazing cameo. And he's now an admiral, I shouldn't say retired admiral, but he's obviously ill. They were able to somehow get Iceman in the film, and they're actually the only two actors to reprise roles from the original, Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. I was actually hoping for a little bit more, because like Tim Robbins, super young Tim Robbins was in the original movie, one of the fighter pilots, and also
Tom Skerritt.
Well, Tom Skerritt is funny thing about that.
He's a little older now. Michael Ironside.
He's in his 80s.
Wasn't Michael Ironside?
Ironside.
He was one of the instructors.
So Tom Skerritt, a funny fact too, and we're going to go into, by the way, I should preface this that our movie review here is just a little taste. It's our honest opinions and reactions. We are going to actually have our full length Tom Cruise Top Gun podcast. We've done a Tom Cruise all of his films podcast. We're going to go really deep into a full Top Gun podcast. It'll be available on iTunes, Spotify. Actually, it's going up the day after we launch this video. So
there you go.
Make sure to check out for more. So the Tom Skerritt thing, I was just going to say quick, was Tom Skerritt was younger than Tom Cruise is now when that movie was filmed in 1986.
Okay, well, there you go.
So, how crazy is that? Because Tom Skerritt was 53 when they filmed the original Top Gun. Yeah. He's now in his 80s.
All right, yeah.
And Tom Cruise is, again, we didn't mention this. Sorry. He's 59 right now.
Okay.
They started filming this movie in 2018.
Okay.
And it was set to release in 2020, and the pandemic hit.
Right.
So they actually shelved it, and I'm glad that they did, because this movie needs to be seen in the theaters.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So that, they actually waited, and Top Gun was supposed to come out that April in 2020 when the pandemic hit. So I'm so glad that we got to see it in 2022. So now Tom Cruise, next month, turns 60 and doesn't look a day over 38.
It's insane. He just doesn't age.
He doesn't age.
He just doesn't age. I don't even want to get into it because it makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't age. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we won't get into that.
Yeah. So to finish that thought about Val Kilmer's cameo being the only, him and Tom Cruise being the only people to reprise their roles from the original, was that obviously Val Kilmer, if everyone knows or you've seen the documentary, he is very ill and can't speak.
Right.
So they actually, he typed most of his lines.
Yeah.
And he did sort of muffled try to say some words to Tom Cruise's character. And that was actually done through AI.
Gotcha.
So, and they actually used other recordings of Val Kilmer's voice to nail that AI recording of him. He couldn't actually say the lines.
Gotcha.
Again, spoiler alert.
That was a cool scene too.
A really cool scene, and we're able to get some more characters and of course it was Iceman because Goose died in the original film, and this takes place and Goose's son, played by Miles Teller.
Perfect casting.
Great casting. And he's such an amazing actor. If you've ever seen Whiplash, you'll know who we're talking about. Miles Teller is an insanely good actor, and he plays Rooster. And so this whole plot takes place that they have asked Tom Cruise to come back and teach at Top Gun for a secret mission of other Top Gun graduates, the best of the best of the best, in order to pull off a secret mission in an undisclosed, they didn't say what country that was. But an undisclosed threat that needs to be handled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't Canada.
It wasn't Canada?
It wasn't Canada.
No, it wasn't Canada.
We're pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
We're not sure where it was, but it wasn't Canada.
It
didn't have a Eastern Alberta feel or anything.
It didn't. No, it did not. It had an overseas sort of feel.
No, they kind of got there on an aircraft carrier, so that kind of took out Alberta. But
unless they crossed the Hudson Bay Area.
Could be. Hard to say,
Anyway, we're not geographical scientists.
Might have been Hamilton. Just outside
It was
Hamilton.
definitely overseas.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. And it was obviously the most insane mission of all time of how to pull it off.
Right.
So that too was anyway, at the end of the day, we don't want to go it's just our honest opinions and a quick movie review. We're going to go way into more detail into our podcast.
Right.
But that was basically the plot is Tom Cruise had to come back, teach these guys how to do this. I like John Hamm's role. He was kind of the heel.
John Hamm was great.
Yeah.
Ed Harris was great. He was only in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly was
Whole
great.
Cast.
Everybody was great. You know, every single pilot really, suited the role.
I actually wanted to bring up one in particular was Bob. So Bob was sort of the comedy relief of the fighter pilots.
Yeah.
And he was the co-pilot with Phoenix. And when the credits came up at the end, it said Lewis Pullman.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's got to be Bill Pullman's son. And it was. He is cool. Bill Pullman's son.
That's crazy.
And Bill Pullman flew a fighter jet as the president of the United States in...
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Oh, that's a deep cut.
Deep cut right there.
Deep cut. All right.
So our honest opinions, guys, amazing movie. Start to finish. There's so much to dive into.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that in our podcast about Top Gun and comparing the two films, but just honest impressions, start to finish, them training for the mission, the mission itself, all of it, the dialogue, the action, the filming.
Yeah.
We can't say enough great things about this movie.
Nothing seemed rushed, you know, and nothing seemed too long. Do you know what I mean? Even the dogfighting scenes weren't too long. They could have been way longer, and then you'd be like, this is taking on too long, you know?
Yeah.
Like another movie that I just saw where a certain dinosaur was chasing a dude. I won't do any spoilers. But I'm just saying that race, that little cat and mouse game took way too long.
The only thing you brought up, which I agreed with, was when they... and again, if you haven't shut it off by now, we've already said spoiler warnings.
Right.
That when they have to eject, Miles Teller goes back to save Maverick.
Yeah.
And they have to steal an enemy jet.
Yeah.
Basically the last one left in order to get back to the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
You wish that was a bit longer.
Yeah, that would have been a fun scene just to make it a little bit longer.
A little bit longer.
But again, it fit. It fit.
I think at 2 hours and 11 minutes, it was right.
Yeah.
I think, if they'd made a little bit more about stealing that jet in enemy territory and knocked it out even at 2 hours, 20 minutes, I would have been fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought I could use a little bit more, but what do I know? Mm-hmm.
With these movie reviews as well, we're going to give a rating scale.
Right.
And the new rating scale is as follows.
Okay.
We're going to do this with more movies. Probably the next one I think we should do would be Thor: Love and Thunder.
Cool.
Yeah?
I'm in.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the rating scale is a K-Dog and Fish classic we talk about on our virtual garage sales and other things that we do, which is spicy meatballs. So this is on a scale of 1 spicy meatball to 5 spicy meatballs. Mm-hmm. 1 being like, don't even see this. Like, this is a piece of crap. You're going to need an entire suitcase of ginger ale to even get through this thing. Mm-hmm. Don't bother.
Okay. All right.
2 spicy meatballs is like, You don't need to see it in theaters. Wait for it to come out on digital download,
okay,
rental, or streaming service.
Okay.
3 spicy meatballs is like, I go see it in the theater, but it didn't knock my pants right off.
Gotcha. All right.
4 spicy meatballs is you're going to go see it in the theater and you're going to like it.
Okay.
And 5 spicy meatballs is perfect. You're going to see it multiple times in the theater. You're going to buy it when it comes out. You're going to get the steel book. You're going to watch it on streaming services anyway.
Gotcha.
This is a great, fantastic, no-fail movie.
Okay.
All right, so that's our rating scale. Okay, is there anything else about the movie you kind of want to add before we go?
Oh, I could talk about a million things, but I'll save that for the podcast. We don't want this show to be too long.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So rating scale on a scale of 1 to 5 spicy meatballs, what would you give Top Gun Maverick?
Well, it's got to be. It's more than a 4. It's not quite a 5. It's like a 4.8, which is pretty much. You got to see it in theaters, and you're going to buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out or digital download.
I mean, a perfect 5 spicy meatballs. That's going to be.
It's hard to give a perfect 5.
Hard, yeah.
But this movie's really close.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 4.8 spicy meatball.
All right. I'm going to go just a smidge lower.
Okay.
At 4.5 spicy meatballs.
Okay. All right.
That's really we are very we love movies. Obviously, you guys know that watching all of our content. We love movies. I had a couple of issues.
Okay.
And for that, I have to give it a 4.5. I loved it. I'm actually going to go see it again. I'm going to take my wife because she wants to see it.
So you'll talk about those issues in the podcast.
I'll talk about it in the podcast. One super quick is the age of Rooster.
Okay.
Doing the math, Rooster was actually a toddler in the first film. So with although the date isn't specified, and there was a delay in the movie being filmed, so Miles Teller is actually older than when they originally were going to release the film.
Okay.
The timing doesn't play out. He would have to be in his late 30s.
Yeah.
And Miles Teller is not in his late 30s, nor does his character look like he's in his late 30s. So that to me was just a bit of a plot thing.
But
he's an amazing actor.
He's the perfect cast.
He was perfect cast.
He looks like Goose.
As Goose's son.
He looks like Goose.
Yeah, he had the mustache.
Yeah, the whole thing going. Looked
flying
like Goose.
shirts.
So
he knew how to play Great Balls of Fire.
Who doesn't?
Especially most 30-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
So there was a couple of things, and I'll dive deeper into the podcast about it. So I can't give it a perfect 5 spicy meatballs.
All right.
I'm going to give it a 4.5. I'm going to go see it again. So 4.5 spicy meatballs is a high rating.
All right.
Gonna go see it again. Gonna buy it when it comes out. An amazing movie. K-Dog, any final words?
Go see it. See it soon.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be in theater 7 when you see it.
With the no leg room.
It's going to keep going. No, it's going to go to the worst theaters. It's going to go, keep going down the line of theaters. And pretty soon you're going to be in that theater that sits like 15 people.
It's slow.
Seriously. Yeah. And everything's played on a ghetto box. Like you don't even have.
Oh, there's not even surround sound.
Speakers.
Gotcha.
Like it's just whatever. Best of luck.
Gotcha.
You're like, I think this is a cam version.
Thank you guys.
Don't do it. Go soon. Go soon.
Go see it. I'm going to go see it again. We definitely recommend it. 4.8 spicy meatballs for K-Dog. 4.5 for me. Go and check out Top Gun Maverick. Again, our podcast about Top Gun. We're going to compare the original and this one. We're going to dive deeper. We got way more fun facts that we're going to mention in the podcast. Our podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and our website, kdogandfish.com. Make sure you're following us on all social media as well. It's at KDogandFish. We do a weekly live Instagram show called 4 O'Clock Friday. And for this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to do more movie reviews as well. Check out our next YouTube show will be another episode of a Thursday threesome show. Until next time, I'm Fish.
K-Dog.
We'll see you again soon.
Peace.